Salam and welcome to SomaliDispatch.com. For all Somali-related news and interviews in English, please visit us at SomaliDispatch.com and on all social media platforms. I'm Abdulkadir Guled. This week's dispatches will be discussing the situation in Gaza, Ali Jeyte's appointment by President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, the IPU situation, AS or Al-Shabaab, invoking tribal wars in Somalia as per the Somali government's announcement today. Today with us to discuss all of those is Abukar Sanei, whom you all know, who has been on this platform before. He is a Somali political analyst. Abukar is also is a PhD candidate at the Scripps Ohio University. Abukar, welcome to Somali Dispatch once again.
Thank you, Abdul. Thank you, Abdul.
Abukar, if you could start us off with the news that's gripping around the world, specifically the Islamic world and Muslims who feel the atrocities that are ongoing in Gaza. You've been diving in on this. I've seen your tweets and I've spoken to you about this as well. What can you tell us? Where are things at right now as the ground invasion started?
Thank you, Abdul. I mean, I'm happy that we can start this topic of Gaza and the attack by the Israelis in the people of Gaza. It's very unfortunate. I mean, what happened in October 7th was really kind of some sort of reaction of what has been happening for 75 years. The Palestinian people are really harassed, killed from left and right by Israeli military. Even now, even though they accuse Hamas for this, Israelis accuse Hamas for this. We know even what's happening in West Bank, which is really not Gaza, location or Gaza, inhabited area. So this is really, nowadays, now we're talking about 8,000 people lost their lives in this situation now, and that from October 8th. And also, we see many people also who really injured, 17,000 number that's injured also in this war. And many people displaced, also around 1 billion people, over 1 million people also displaced. And also, in addition to that, we are also see that the issue of also fuel carrying communication is really also, not there. Every fuel not there. Even hospitals cannot even function to serve those who are really injured. So that's the situation that we are facing now, and what we can do is just for praying for the people of Palestine as they go through this kind of horrific situation in their lives. And this is what they used to before. We know what happened in the UN and also this Security Council that also became very divided in this issue. Not having any consensus about the human lives and the situation that the Palestinian people are going through. Not having any kind of sense to come up with a consensus, bill or resolution that can really safeguard and also kind of stop this, horrific, war in Gaza.
In Somalia, there was an interesting news coming from Mugishas today, with the federal government's disaster management agency making, weighing into the situation that's going on in Gaza, saying the Somali people in that agency and the federal government is ready to provide aid to the people of Gaza. What are your reactions to that?
Yeah, Somalia, the situation that we're facing now, and also, specifically, this individual who's responsible for the Somali management or humanitarian disaster management. He can discuss that, he can talk about that, but what he can do is very limited, and also it is also his way of also engaging this issue from his portfolio. I think this is above him, and also not in a situation that he can talk about, even discuss, because he has to focus on the situation that we are in Somalia, because Somalis are really now even in need of, even though if we were capable of supporting Palestinian people about their tragic events or tragic situation that they're facing, that would be even best. But nowadays, or this time now, my brother, I know very well the manager or the director, to focus on the need for Somali people in this time, and also to limit his rhetoric to the situation that he's facing, and also leave this issue to the Minister of Foreign Affairs that can deal with it. Yeah,
correct. It was also notably interesting that he actually compared the Israeli Defense Forces to militants in Somalia in the way they're inflicting harm to both societies. But if we can move on from that and on to the former governor of Hiran, who actually became against the federal government and Hirshabelle government as well, has been appointed a presidential envoy, possibly in charge of the Mausley. Much talked about Mausley, a group of the armed group in Somalia that's supporting the Somali federal government forces. What are your reactions? When did the two sides become close, and what do you foresee this change would bring about?
I mean, I'm not really surprised by this new situation of Ali Jeyte accepting position from the government, and also to keep doing what he was doing before, because this is really what he has been doing. I mean, and credit should be given to him, because Ali Jeyte is really, I mean, I admire him. I mean, the way that he handled the situation of Mausley, and also the fight that started in Hiran area was really, and kind of, I mean, he should be admired for that. He did a lot of job, a lot of work for the region in terms of, I mean, fighting against this group of Al-Shabaab, which is really, I mean, enemy to Somali people. So as far as I know, Ali Jeyte really has been, I think, in contact with the government, federal government, and September, I mean, last month, there was some sort of also, I mean, vow that he made that he can also work with the government in terms of defeating this, I mean, Al-Shabaab enemy. So Ali Jeyte, I think the position that is given now will empower him, will make him more also capable of doing his work efficiently and also effectively, because that's what he is capable of doing it. And I'm also happy that Somali government also, I mean, acknowledge that situation, that he's also capable of doing that, and I will see that more collaboration and also more effective engagement from the government of Somalia on the other hand, on one hand, and also Ali Jeyte on the other, on this situation of the war against Al-Shabaab will really, I mean, the people will really welcome this, and also the Hiran community, and also I mean, I should say the people of Hirshabelle in general, not only Hiran, but Hirshabelle community, I think will welcome this, and also it's very good. Also, it shows also the good intention of the federal government, because it gives some sort of signal that, I mean, Ali was not really abandoned. I mean, and also it shows some sort of also appreciation about from federal government of Somalia, that they appreciate about the work that he did in the past, and also now engaging him to do also more in the future. Yeah,
correct. Would this, do you think, is this the end of the infighting between, Hirshabelle administration and the Hiran administration, which we know Hiran has been somewhat not happy with the way Hirshabelle has been managing both the presidential role and the capital. It was supposed to be either the capital would be in Beledweyne and the president would be from Johar, or vice versa, and that caused a big rift. Is this the answer to that conflict, if you will?
I mean, I'm really, I mean, close follower of this situation in Hirshabelle, and also I'm part of from Hirshabelle, and I see that, I mean, there's some sort of dishonesty, if I can say that, for those who are really in leadership position in Hirshabelle state, because there are some sort of grievances going on in the state of Hirshabelle, and that's why, in addition to many other also area issues that may exist, that's why the state is behind of other states. The people who are really in the front wheel or front seat in the state of Hirshabelle are not really capable of doing things in a correct way. Either they don't have the vision, or they don't have the management skill that they can also handle the situation politically, or also economically, or developmental issues, or political issues. So what I see is really, I mean, what's missing, I should say, is that we don't have, I mean, credible elements in the Hirshabelle state at the upper level. And I also think that maybe the federal government can also do this, can help this, if they are also willing to do that. Because there is some sort of issue going on here, and deep kind of mistrust between Iran and Middle Shabelle people are really there, and those people are really. I mean, they can get along with each other. It's not that kind of complicated, but there is no will from those who are really in the front seat nowadays in the Shabelle state. Political system, and that's why you see this kind of crisis going on. And if we also, as we know, at the beginning when Ali Jeyte was really fired, there was some sort of also finger pointing going on to the people who are in power in Shabelle, especially the president of Shabelle, because Ali showed some sort of charismatic leadership, and that charismatic leadership is still needed for Somali people to survive. We need some people who show some sort of good leadership. And Ali just showed that. I don't know him personally, Ali, and I'm not even from Hiran region. I'm from Middle Shabelle region, but I can see that. I mean, you can even sense when the person shows genuine leadership, genuine inspiration of charismatic leadership that he showed the community or the people who are really who he or she is leading in that area. That tells you that, I mean, regardless of where you belong, something that you can admire. And Ali showed that to his. I can give that kind of credit for him, and also support in his leadership skills, and also some sort of his charismatic leadership that he showed. So in this case, now I'm really happy that now the thing that changed, and also now Ali now is acknowledged that he's now also again coming back to his position as somebody who's really effective leader. Even though it would have been great if he could have kept his position of governor of Iran, he could have done better than what he did before if he continued in that position as well. So, I mean, my point here is really, or my conclusion in this case, Brother Abdulkader, is really, I mean, Hirshabelle needs some sort of leadership that can really unify them, that can serve for them, that can understand the situation, and also can bring them people together. Right. Unfortunately, I don't see that. I don't see that kind of leadership in Hirshabelle who is capable of bringing people together and having a state that can function very well and also can compete with the other states. We're missing that, unfortunately, and I hope that people will think of this and also bring some sort of solution to this situation.
On the point of clan skirmishes in the center of the country, as you know, the Minister of Defense came out today accusing Al-Shabaab of stoking tribal fighting and financing it, actually, and warned against that. You from the region, as you've mentioned, is there anything to that allegation by the minister?
Yeah, I mean, Al-Shabaab City, I mean, they are now running for their lives, and anything is possible. They can use any mechanism, any technique, or any tactics that they can really use for their life. I mean, as I know, as also people know, before they start, even before 2006, when the Islamic courts were there, Kalan was really, their kind of, card that they were using, the Kalan card, even to serve the community. Even in Mugishas, as we know, every area, they were kind of connecting with the clans, and especially at that time, even we can say that, Shabab was not really a big factor at that time, but even at the Islamic Courts Union, the use of clan was there. And now, if that was the case, now that can also, in this case, now the tactic that they can use for the war that they are engaging in with the Somali people, in the Somali, targeting the Somali people, and also, creating some sort of mayhem and chaos, and also killing that they always do. They can also apply this concept of that now we are here for you to protect you, we are here for you to serve you, and the government's the enemy. And also, if you suspect any clan that's kind of supportive to the government, that clan is not really part of our community here. So we have to fight against that. So what do we see? What I have seen, I also saw the burning activity going on there. People are really targeting other communities in those areas. Those are really, even though some may not know it, but there's some sort of hand of Al-Shabaab hand behind that, and that's what they try to create, some sort of chaos. And to some extent, I really agree that the minister may have a point in it, because maybe some intelligence that he may have also for that. Right. And also, as we know, the tactic that we always know, we always see from Shabab, that they can engage any way that they can sustain their situation, and that's really.
Thank you for that. This week, we also saw the International Parliamentary Union meeting in Luanda, Angola, and Somalia having a candidate for the presidency. MB Marwa was running and was in contention, and then something happened. Could you please explain to our audience what this dizzying allegations back and forth, what is this about?
Yeah, first of all, I should also start with congratulating Marwa for her ambition, which is very important. Every Somali individual should have that kind of ambition, and also drive that he or she can do anything that they want. That's very, very important, and also very welcome. Kind of courage that we need to see from Somali individuals, whether in diaspora or whether in back home Somalia. So the issue kind of created some kind of backlash. Even I saw some tweets from some people supporting her, and also accusing the government that they really backsided her, and also they didn't support her, and also they didn't give her the support that she needed. The letter that came from the office of the Speaker of the Parliament, Madobe, was one of that came from the government side. So, and also I have seen also some other prominent also leaders, Adnan Shakur, who spoke on this issue also, and talked about how even the Parliament agreed on this issue. Two houses of the Parliament. The House and the Senate.
Wrote a recommendation letter for her.
Yeah, even letter that they did for them. And now the question is, did we know all these things that the government talk about now before? We just how come that the Parliament, the Senate, the upper house and lower house didn't know the situation, didn't know the discussion that was going on between the Somali government and Tanzania government about the deal that they had between them? So that's a question mark. That people can ask. And now, what do we see now here? Even Marwa, I think she was told about the situation, about the deal between the Somali government and Tanzanian government. Somali government wanted two issues from Tanzania. Number one, the East African community that we are now campaigning for to join, and secondly, to get the membership position in the UN Security Council. Those are really very good. Positions that we really need support from the Tanzanian government. Those are very good. On the other hand, now, by doing those, or asking those favors from the Tanzanian government, we give you this position also. You can take this IPU position. So that negotiation was very important. But also, the question is why those communications were not shared with the Parliament at the beginning. That's, I think, where the miscommunication took place, and that's what the kind of confusion that we see, that maybe some sort of chaos happened after this. Because if this girl or this woman would have told that, we as Somali government are in this situation now, and also if this openly was told the Parliament also beforehand, that we are engaged in these talks with the Tanzanian government, and we need you, or we encourage you to put this issue aside.
Right.
So that didn't happen. And I've seen my brother Ali Omar, State Minister's video also talking about this deal between Tanzania and Somalia, about those issues, that we give you the IUB position, and also you give us these two, your votes or maybe your support in these two areas. So that, things happen. But unfortunately, anyway, we see that it ended up in this situation, and that caused kind of miscommunication from the government side, the executive level, I think I should say here, and also the Parliament side, that they didn't even know what was going on.
Right.
And that kind of, it shows some sort of kind of, lack of coordination taking place here.
Right. And finally, Puntland, with the elections, the presidential elections coming up, and their parliamentary elections coming up, with the contention of that issue, with the president and the government there in that regional state saying, We're going to do, we're going to follow up on our, 3 district, 1 person, 1 vote. Now we're going to do, region-wide. With the success they had in Seoul, things were up and up, but the old guard is not ready for that. There seems to be a lot of work that needs to be done before that could happen. The Puntland Electoral Commission, suggested and announced a new schedule for when that could happen. They've given the president and his administration a 1-month extension, and that they should hold both presidential and parliamentary elections on 1 vote, 1 person, 1 vote. What is your take on what's been going on in Puntland? God forbid things go sideways. What do you foresee is going to happen in that regard?
I mean, Puntland was really a model for Somali state building. Initiative. As we know, this state is called the mother of the federalism in Somalia. They take that kind of name as a model for Somalia other state building process in Somalia after the post 1990. What do we see from President Denis Siri? Not welcoming, not happy, not things that are really welcomable or something that people can really see as kind of reasonable. Puntland doesn't deserve to be in crisis. And what I see from President Denis Siri, having his own way of using his power and authority to do whatever he wants without respecting, the voice of Puntlanders and people who are really in Puntland state of Somalia. So, we have to try our best to avoid any crisis, any conflict, because his term will end by January 2020.
Yeah.
January 2024, there should be elections in Puntland, and that election preparation should have been placed by this time, or even before this time. Again, people who are really civil society group in Puntland state, elders in Puntland state, which is part of all civil society groups, and also the intellectuals in the Puntland state of Somalia should have a role in this case to come up with some sort of maybe solutions toward it, because elections as they used to happen before. Abdul Gas, Farole, and also before Farole, there was some sort of consistency going on, even though always there was clashes or the kind of confusion was there, but at the same time also it wasn't causing any conflict as we see today. So, even now, this may be for what they say for the sake of argument now. If now Denny was part of the meeting for the National Consultative Council that agreed on postponing elections, and if he should have signed that contract and he was part of that, today he'd have kind of some sort of logic, some logic to delay the election. Okay, but now he doesn't have that logic, that condition now, and now if you don't have that condition, that there's no way that you can delay the election. So he has to come up with a solution that he can convince the people of Puntland. Either to let him to stay in power for maybe 6 months, or having election by January 2024. So that is really what the stake is, and it depends on the people of Puntland. And I see that many people are really not happy with the status quo now, the situation that now Denny is arguing for. He's saying that 1 person, 1 vote, and also that is not clear how that will be done.
Right.
So those issues are really very contentious issue, and very disputable issues that are existing here. The disagreement is very high, and solution, I don't see that. There's no short-term solution even appearing from this, because people who are really want to have the seat of the government in Puntland are fighting for that cause, and they want to either to have elections by the time of 2024 January, or there will be some conflict that may happen, and also some kind of power struggle between Puntland, other politicians in Puntland, and also and this guy, this gentleman, Denny. Yeah.
Correct. With the last few minutes we got left, Denny also is opposed to President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud's proposal for a president and a vice president instead of a prime minister's role, and with a two-party system for the whole country. What do you make of that? Would that work for Somalia moving forward quickly?
I don't see. I mean, Abdulkader, I mean, if you wanted to argue against any idea that would put forward, we have to come up with alternative ideas, and also alternative ideas that are also based on logic and reasoning, and also a kind of calculation that makes sense. So I see that it's still premature for Denny and also Puntland State to come up with a solution. I mean, that kind of confront what Hassan Mahmoud and also NCC came with in their National Consultative Council meeting. So we have to see some document or some logic reasoning that says that this is not working and this is not why it's not working. Otherwise, it can be kind of back and forth. Discussion or debate that will not take Somalia. Yeah.
I appreciate that, Abukar Sanei. I can't thank you enough, and I always look forward in having these similar chats with you about Somalia and where things are. Thank you for your time today, and as always, you're more than welcome to come back. And actually, I hope you come back soon. Thank you. Have a great evening. Thank you.